Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Tokyo-Yo. My name is T. Today we're going to be taking a look at a yo-yo that I think just about everyone has in their collection these days. Today we're going to be looking at the YoYoFactory Shutter. So is this one yo-yo that's going to take you to a photo finish, or is this one of those yo-yos you just better leave in the darkroom? Alright, so let's take a look at the YoYoFactory Shutter. So the shape is a very VH hybrid. You can see here there's some pretty bulbous rims. The rims themselves are fairly thick and go out a little bit, but there is this big bump here that goes from the gap out to the rim. So it sort of has elements of V, the way it kind of goes up to the edge here, but I think with these big rims you'd put it more in the H category. In the cup you have this outer ring here. Like I said, the rim does jut out a little bit, and then in the center you have this little raised bucket, and in the middle here you have Gentry Stein, the designer of the yo-yo, and this is actually his actual signature inside, or reprint of his signature. At the bottom you see where it says YoYoFactory, at the top it says Shutter, and then around the little bucket you have the graphic laser engraving of like a camera's shutter in silhouette, and that does look pretty cool actually. The material is your good old 6061 aluminum, nothing special there. The feel is very rounded. It does feel nice in the hand. It's one of those yo-yos that does feel a little bit big when you first get it, at least in my opinion. Maybe it's because of these big thick rims, but once you played with it for a little bit, there's no problem at all with the feel. And because of the rounded shape, it does make catches and stuff like that a little more comfortable than you might expect. The look is very, very cool actually. Like I said, you have this bulbous shape, you have the rims that jut out a little bit, you have this interesting design in the cup here with the rim coming out and the little bucket inside. I do wish I had a more exciting colorway. I bought this way back on Amazon, I think it was, and they only had the silver available before I knew that there were like a billion awesome colors. It does look quite nice. I'm not the biggest fan of engravings, but I think this does okay with the way it's got its engravings placed and the way they look. We'll get into that in a little bit. So anybody who's in the yo-yo community knows that the Shutter is Gentry Stein's signature yo-yo. It's not his first, but it is one of several that he's done. This one is with YoYoFactory, and obviously Gentry Stein is a sponsored player with YoYoFactory. It's quite famous because he did take this on to win Worlds. He's won the World Yo-Yo contest with his signature yo-yo, the Shutter. So I guess you could say it's kind of proven itself on the stage. Obviously, if someone could take it to Worlds and win, then, it's got to be decent, right? As far as my history with the Shutter, this was my first serious metal yo-yo. I ordered it on Amazon a few months after I got back into yo-yo after a little break I took, and it really did open my eyes a lot to unresponsive and to what metal yo-yos could be. I think it was a good purchase to start out, and it gave me a good basis for the rest of the yo-yos I've bought since then. I don't know if you can see on camera, this one has been beat around a lot. There are quite a few dings on it. I've played this one a lot, and this is one that I've let my friends play with. Anybody who's interested in yo-yos or people who are just getting started out, I usually give them the Shutter to try out first. I'm not really worried if it gets banged up too much, but to the Shutter's credit, this thing has been banged around a lot, and it's still fairly smooth, which I was really impressed by. As far as how the Shutter plays, it has a very nice weight. It is very nimble. This thing moves very quickly on the string. It's not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination unless, you're one of those people who can push it like that. It does play right in the middle of fast and smooth. As far as how it plays on the string, just like any modern yo-yo these days, you're not going to have too many problems with tilt or spin time, stability, anything like that. This yo-yo is kind of right in the middle. A lot of people go to this yo-yo and recommend it as sort of one of the ultimate examples of your all-rounder yo-yo. It's kind of the one yo-yo that can do just about anything. It does play well as a learning yo-yo, and it does play well as like an everyday beater just because it does everything really well and still manages to perform even after it's gotten smacked around a bit. Grinds with this yo-yo are actually really nice. I hadn't tried this yo-yo for a long time. I've actually left it at work. I haven't really touched it for a long time. So I came back to it recently before I started filming this, and I had kind of forgotten how good this thing is for grinds. You might think that there'd be a lot of friction down here, but I actually find that isn't really the case. Your finger fits in this little groove down here, but it doesn't make too much contact with the yo-yo, which makes grinds actually work pretty well. You've got this little area in the center here which you can catch for finger spins, and it's fairly big, so you don't have to worry about missing it too much. Only problem is it's got these engravings here. You've got the engraving here and the one on this side too, and that definitely can be felt on finger spins. You're definitely going to feel a lot of scratchiness on your nail, and for me that's like, it kind of gives me that yucky feeling. But you can catch them in finger spins and they can last, and maybe if you did a lot of finger spins on it, it might smooth the engravings out or something. I'm not sure. I haven't really done it that much. That being said, I do think the engravings are pretty cool. I like the signature on here. I think like the font that they chose for the shutter looks neat, kind of like retro photography style. It's kind of neat how they went all out with like the camera theme. The response is decent. It's got these blue pads in here. They're not my favorite. I really prefer the red pads, especially from YoYoFactory. I feel like the red pads work a lot better. The blue pads are fine. They're a little bit on the slippery side, so usually I have to use a thicker string. You see it just about everywhere, just about everyone, on every forum. There's usually one or two comments when someone asks like, what yo-yo should I get? What metal yo-yo is the best? What is an awesome all-rounder yo-yo? In every single thread like that, you're going to see one or two people recommend the shutter. And that's not really because it's everyone's favorite yo-yo, but that's just because it does everything pretty well. It's proven itself on the world stage. It has a nice hand feel. It's rounded, so it's comfortable for newer players. It grinds nice. It's got this really nice satiny finish. You can do finger spins on it. And it's affordable too. It's not too expensive, so just kind of everything about it makes it a pretty versatile yo-yo that people really enjoy. And the fact that it spins nice and long and it has a decent stability to it doesn't really hurt its reputation either. Alright, let's get into pros and cons. So pros of the shutter. First thing is the shape. I do like this rounded shape. It sort of looks space-agey, kind of like a futuristic yo-yo design. And some other yo-yos have done this kind of shape too, but I think this one really kind of nails it with the width being just right and the way these bulbous rims stick out. I think it's a very, very cool design. The versatility of the shutter shouldn't be understated. Like I said, it does just about everything well. I don't think it's a master of any particular style or anything like that, but the fact that you can use it really, really competently in just about everything, I think it makes it a really good recommendation. I think the design is cool. Kind of going off the shape like I mentioned, the diameter, the width, everything about it is just kind of right in the center. That makes it nice for just about anybody to play, so really no complaints about the design. It grinds really nice, like I mentioned. The nice satiny finish is really nice. There's no engravings or anything around here to get stuck on your fingers, so finger grinds are really good. And the look of it, I mean, this is just a simple colorway. It's just the clear or silver, whatever you want to call it. But I think it kind of complements the engraving really nicely, so I'm actually kind of glad now that I got the clear version. And I think it looks really nice with Bushido Baby as well. Here you can see the silver and then the white and red string from Zipline. It just looks so nice. You know, I don't really have too many bad things to say about the shutter. It doesn't really have so many like really big weaknesses, but I guess the biggest thing I could say against it is just that it's not really pushing any boundaries too much. I think it's a safe yo-yo, and that's not a bad thing. But it has a nice diameter, a nice width, it's catchable, it's got a nice round shape, it's got the finger spin area, it grinds real nice. It's not one of those yo-yos that's gonna blow your hair back with like a futuristic crazy design or anything that does like some really wild crazy new thing, but it does everything really well, and it does it well enough that, you know, you can take it to Worlds and win with it. So I think the fact that it has that going for it, that level of versatility and that level of competency and everything, is a really good point in its favor. I think the YoYoFactory shutter is for somebody who wants to get into YoYoFactory but isn't ready to splurge their money on an Edge or a Space Cadet or anything like that in like the $100 range or something like that. This is in their budget metal range along with the Horizon and other things like that. I think it's around $40 or $50, maybe depending on the splashes you get. And I think that is a really good price for it. It's a really good entry point for YoYoFactory if you're not willing to spend too much money. Now, if you're looking for a yo-yo with a little more character, a little more crazy personality, then you might want to look elsewhere. But I think the shutter is like a good vanilla yo-yo for people who want to get into metal yo-yos, who want to know what the unresponsive world is like but aren't ready for something too wild just yet. So it's kind of a good like springboard to other crazier designs. Alright boys and girls, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like, a comment, a subscription. I'd really appreciate it. Please don't forget to check out Clozee, who let me use their song Koto for the beginning and the end of this video. It's an awesome song. I say it every video. Please go give them some love. Have a a nice day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and sayonara.